She said, "I still love you, but I need someone who matches my energy. So you have to wait for me, don't love anyone else." I told her calmly, "Go ahead." While she was out chasing better, I quietly became everything she was looking for. And when she came back, "Evan, I still love you," she said softly, avoiding my eyes. "But I need to explore, to see what's out there. I just don't want to lose you while I do." For a moment, I didn't even know how to respond. There she was, Lara, the woman I'd spent 3 years building a life with, standing in our kitchen, talking about exploring like it was a weekend trip instead of walking out on us. I took a deep breath. "So let me get this straight," I said. "You want to date other people, but you don't want me to move on?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah. I just need time to figure things out. But please don't replace me. I might come back." I smiled faintly. "Then I guess I should give you all the time in the world." Her face softened. She thought I was agreeing. I wasn't. That night, after she left with her suitcase and her promises, I deleted her number, blocked her on everything, and went for a long walk in the quiet rain. She wanted space. So I gave her all of it. And 6 months later, when I saw her again, that same girl who once thought she could do better, she was unrecognizable. Lara and I met at a friend's birthday dinner. She was the kind of person who filled a room. Confident, magnetic, always laughing louder than everyone else. I was her opposite. Quiet, steady, the one who remembered to bring the lighter when everyone forgot the candles. She once told me that's what she liked about me. "You calm me down," she said. "You make life make sense." For 3 years we made sense together. We rented a small apartment on the east side, cooked dinner together most nights, spent Sundays at the farmer's market. It wasn't glamorous, but it was ours. I never tried to impress her with money or grand gestures. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. A software developer with good savings, a clear plan, a quiet kind of ambition. And for a while that was enough. Then she got the new job, a marketing agency downtown. It's all glass walls and big egos. The kind of place where every conversation was about networking, branding, or scaling your lifestyle. At first I was proud of her. She was finally doing something creative, something that challenged her. But it didn't take long before I noticed the shift. She started coming home later. Her phone was always face down. And when she did talk, it was about people I'd never heard of before. One name came up a lot, Eli. "Eli's incredible," she'd say. "He's only 30 and already launching his second startup." Or, "Eli says you have to spend money to make money. You can't live scared forever." She talked about him like a mentor, but her eyes gave her away. And slowly her tone toward me began to change. She'd laugh at my old car, suggest I dress sharper, tell me I was too comfortable. One night, while we were having dinner, she looked at me across the table and said, "Sometimes I feel like you're stuck, like you're just..." Fine with being average, I didn't argue. I'd learned that silence hurt her more than words ever could. She wanted a reaction, validation that I still feared losing her. But I didn't give her one. A few weeks later, she started going to work dinners, always with Eli, always with vague explanations and even vaguer apologies for coming home late. Then came the talk. She said she needed time, that she loved me, but wasn't sure if love was enough, that she wanted to see what else was out there before committing to one person forever. It sounded like a breakup dressed in therapy language. I asked her, "Are you seeing someone else?" She said no, not yet, then smiled like it was supposed to sound honest. That's when I realized she wasn't leaving me because something was missing. She was leaving because she thought there was more, out there somewhere. Something flashier, louder, newer, so I let her go, no begging, no speeches. Just quiet acceptance in the kind that makes people nervous because it doesn't fight back. She packed her things in 2 suitcases and kissed my cheek before walking out the door. "I'll reach out when I figure myself out," she said. The next day she posted a photo. Her and Eli at a rooftop bar laughing over wine. Caption, "New beginnings." I remember looking at it and feeling nothing, not anger, not jealousy, just finality. People like Lara believe life is a movie. They think they can pause one scene, go play another, and come back when they're ready, but life doesn't pause. It keeps going. And I'd just decided mine would go forward without her. So I went to the gym, started cooking again, read more, worked harder. I didn't try to win the breakup. I just tried to win myself back. And slowly, it worked. But while I was rebuilding quietly, Lara's new beginning was already starting to rot. At first, I only heard about her through mutual friends. They'd mention how happy she looked, how she and Qley were the couple everyone envied. Every photo she posted was a highlight reel, expensive restaurants, weekend getaways, hotel balconies, all smiles and sunsets. I scrolled once, then muted her account. It wasn't bitterness. I just didn't want to know anymore. Meanwhile, my life got quiet and then better. I picked up more projects at work, started running every morning, even signed up for a photography class. It's amazing how much space peace takes up when drama leaves the room. Then a few months later, I got a text from an old co-worker of hers. Hey, not sure if you heard, but Qley's startup. Total scam. Dude's been dodging investors and owes half the city money. I didn't respond. Part of me didn't believe it. But 2 weeks later, another message came. This time from Lara's best friend, Tessa. You probably don't care, but things are bad. He borrowed money from her. Like, a lot. Then disappeared. She's been calling him non-stop. I remember setting my phone down and staring at the screen for a long time. Not because I felt vindicated, but because it hurt to realize she'd traded something real for something hollow. From what I eventually heard, Qley had been in debt for years. He'd used Lara, her salary, her connections, even her credit card, to keep up the illusion. When she found out, he didn't apologize. He blocked her. Just like I did. She tried to sue him, but it turned out nothing was in his name. Everything he'd shown her, the car, the apartment, the business chance was borrowed, leased, or fake. And for the first time, I think she realized what exploring really meant, being lost. She stopped posting on social media after that, quit her job quietly, moved back into her parents' house 2 towns over. Tessa told me she'd been crying for weeks. She'd even tried to reach out to me once, apparently, but her number was still blocked. I wasn't cruel enough to celebrate her downfall. But I won't lie, part of me felt a quiet satisfaction, because life has a way of teaching lessons no words ever could. While she was untangling herself from Qley's mess, my own life had started to climb. My project at work went viral on LinkedIn, a small automation tool I'd built in my spare time. It caught the attention of a recruiter from a major tech firm. Within a month, I'd been promoted, given a raise, and relocated to a better office. I moved into a bigger apartment, closer to the city, got a new car, and for the first time in years, felt like I was exactly where I was meant to be. Not chasing anyone, not proving anything, just being. Then, one Sunday afternoon, I got a call from Tessa again. Her voice was hesitant. Hey, Lara's been asking about you. I said nothing. She wanted to know if you're seeing someone. I told her I wasn't sure. Why? I asked. Because she's not doing great. She said if she could talk to you, she'd apologize. I didn't answer right away. I could almost hear Tessa's sympathy bleeding through the phone, the kind reserved for people who realize too late what they lost. Tell her I hope she's okay, I said finally. But there's nothing left to say. I hung up. That night I went out with someone new, Maya, a woman I'd met at the photography class. She was kind, funny, and unpretentious. No filters, no games, just warmth. We spent hours walking by the river, talking about everything and nothing. She didn't care what car I drove or what I earned. She cared about how I listened, and for the first time since Lara left, I laughed without feeling like I owed anyone an explanation. Meanwhile, Lara's life kept unraveling. A mutual friend later told me she'd tried reaching out to Qley again, only to find out he'd moved to another city with someone new. A model. You couldn't make that up if you tried. She sent him one final message, apparently. After everything I did for you, you just walk away. He replied with 2 words. You chose me. That line stuck with me. Because it was true. She chose him over me, over stability, over everything we'd built, and choices always come with a cost. 6 months after Lara vanished from social media, I saw her again. Not online, in person. It was a Friday evening at a networking gala hosted by one of our partner firms, the kind of event she used to love. Designer dresses, expensive wine, people pretending to care about creative synergy. I didn't even know she'd be there. I'd gone because my manager insisted I attend, to represent our company and meet clients. I was standing by the bar talking to a colleague when I heard a familiar laugh. That same high melodic laugh that used to fill my apartment. I turned, and there she was, Lara. She looked different. Not bad, just older. Tired. The kind of tired that makeup can't hide. Her smile was forced, her eyes dull, her posture a little too careful, like she was trying to hold herself together. She noticed me almost instantly. Her eyes widened. Her glass froze mid-air. For a second, neither of us moved. Then I saw her glance down at my name tag, the company logo, the new title beneath my name, Senior Development Lead. And just like that, I saw the recognition hit her. The same man she'd once called unambitious was now standing exactly where she'd once said he'd never be. I nodded politely. Lara. Her lips parted like she wanted to say something, but all that came out was a small, breathless laugh. Wow, you look different. Life's been good, I said simply. She looked around, scanning for something to hold on to. A drink, a friend, a distraction. That's when Maya walked up holding 2 glasses of champagne. Hey, babe, she said easily, handing me one. Then she turned to Lara, offering a warm smile. Hi, I'm Maya. Lara blinked, thrown off by her friendliness. Oh, hi. I'm Lara. I didn't need to say anything. The silence between them said enough. Maya was everything Lara used to pretend to be. Poised but genuine, elegant without trying, confident without needing validation. She didn't cling to my arm or show off. She just fit. Lara's eyes flicked between us. I could see the panic flicker there, the kind that comes when you finally realize the story's moved on without you. You two look happy, she said, voice cracking slightly. We are, Maya replied softly without hesitation. Then someone from across the room called my name, my manager, waving me over to introduce me to a client. I excused myself. It was good seeing you, Lara. Take care. Maya followed, but not before giving Lara a polite nod and a small smile that somehow made the moment sting even more. As we walked away, I didn't look back. But later that night, as the event wrapped up, I saw her again, outside, alone, scrolling through her phone like she was searching for a version of herself that no longer existed. A few days later, I got a message request on Instagram. From her, I opened it. Hey, Evan. I don't know if you'll see this, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. You didn't deserve the way I treated you. I thought I was chasing something better, but all I did was lose something real. You were always good to me. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed one line. I hope you find peace, Lara, and I hit send. She replied within minutes. She's beautiful. I hope she makes you happy. Just don't forget who was there first. I almost laughed. Not out of cruelty, I was just disbelief. Even after everything, she still saw love as a competition. I didn't answer. That weekend, Maya and I took a trip to the coast. We spent the morning walking barefoot on the sand, coffee in hand, the sea wind tugging at her hair. At one point, she looked at me and said, "You ever think about how different your life could have been if you'd stayed where you were?" I smiled, all the time, and that's why I'm grateful I didn't, she nodded. Resting her head on my shoulder, somewhere out there, I imagined Lara scrolling through her phone again, looking at other people's lives the way she used to look at mine, with a mix of longing and regret. But that was no longer my story to fix. In the months after that message, Lara stopped reaching out. Maybe she finally understood silence the way I once did, not as punishment, but as acceptance. Every now and then her name would still come up. Someone would mention running into her, working part-time at a small agency, or seeing her at a cafe reading alone. They'd say she looked quieter, sadder maybe, but I didn't ask for details, because that chapter, no matter how much it shaped me, was already closed. Life moved on, the way it always does for those who stop looking backward. Maya and I grew closer. She wasn't perfect. Neither was I, but we built something simple and real, the kind of love that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. When she got promoted, she didn't use the word we. When I did well at work, she didn't post it online. We just lived. And in that quiet living, I finally understood what peace felt like. Something I'd never had with Lara. No matter how passionate we once were. Sometimes I'd think back to the night Lara left, her suitcase by the door, her voice trembling as she said she needed to find herself. Back then, I thought maybe I wasn't enough for her. Now, I realize I simply wasn't meant for her. There's a difference between not being enough and not being right, and some people only learn that after they lose the right one. I don't blame her anymore. Lara wasn't evil, just misguided. She believed the world owed her excitement, that love should always feel like fireworks. But fireworks burn out fast. Real love glows slow. Maybe she needed to lose something stable to realize that. Maybe I needed to be the one she lost. The irony? Everything she said she wanted. Success, adventure, confidence. I ended up finding anyway, just without her. One night, Maya and I went out to dinner to celebrate our anniversary. It was at a small restaurant by the water. Nothing fancy, but warm with candlelight dancing on the glasses. As we were leaving, I caught a glimpse of someone across the street. Lara. She was sitting alone on a bench scrolling through her phone, her face lit by the blue glow of the screen. She didn't see me. I didn't approach. For a second I thought about all the things I could have said. How she'd broken me. How she'd made me doubt my worth. How I'd had to rebuild piece by piece quietly, while she was busy performing happiness for strangers online. But then I realized I didn't owe her that story. Because it wasn't hers anymore. I just turned back to Maya, took her hand and walked away. Later that night, as we sat watching the city lights from our balcony, Maya leaned her head on my shoulder. "You okay?" she asked. I smiled. "Yeah, I'm more than okay." And I meant it. For a long time I thought healing meant forgetting, but it doesn't. Healing is remembering and no longer needing the ending to be different. Lara once told me, "You're too calm, Evan. You never fight for anything." She was wrong. I did fight. I just chose to fight for my peace, not for her chaos. So no, I didn't win. There was no scoreboard. No revenge. Just growth. Quiet, undeniable growth. Because sometimes the best way to prove your worth isn't to shout it. It's to let time make the announcement for you, and time had done exactly that. She left for better. I became it,